good afternoon to all of you members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. And on this International World Press Freedom Day, I'd like to tell you that we honor the services and the courage of journalists in Uganda. We respect and appreciate the exchange of information, and the leader of the opposition wishes every one of you to continue the relationship between the media fraternity and the leader of the opposition. The alternative government values the partnership between us and the media. But on this day, we would like to say that it comes at a time where the journalism fraternity is facing a lot of challenges. So it's not much to say we are happy today, because as part of the media, I know very well what we are going through as the media. Apart from just the rights that everyone is talking about, I know that the welfare of journalists is very much compromised. And I can tell the country right now that I've gotten very many petitions. One of them is from journalists who have been working for CTV. And I am told that CTV journalists have spent more than a year without being paid. They were last paid in February of last year. And this petition is going to be taken to the Committee of ICT. It will also be taken to the floor of Parliament, because any media employer is obligated to pay the journalists just like other employees. And if there is any problem that anyone is encountering, it is very, very much important for any employer to explain to the employees. So I'd like to tell the journalists who work for CTV or who used to work for CTV, because I'm told the station has now been sold without the knowledge of the people who have been working there, and sold without paying the journalists who have been working there. It's very unfortunate, very, very unfortunate, and I hope that our efforts will yield and will compel the owner of CTV or the person who has sold it to pay the people who have been working there. But also, I would like to say, there are a number of other incidents, apart from welfare, where journalists are being mistreated, being sent away from work abruptly, without payment, without compensation, and would like for this to change. Journalists are needed just like other workers are needed in this country. What, however, I observe is that many people, politicians and other people and other stakeholders, value journalists when they need their services. Once they don't need the services of journalists, that's when journalists will now be bad, or they are greedy, or they are corrupt. You don't expect someone's integrity when you haven't paid them for more than a year.
We are basically, as a forum, focusing to see that we legislate laws that give protection and security to the journalists. We've seen incidences where most of the journalists have been actually tortured with a lot of impunity, and we really see that as Parliament, it is our concern that we come up with legislations that will give you protection. We also call upon the media houses that the welfare of our journalists is not so good, so we need also to find a way of improving the welfare of our journalists through legislations tailored towards, for instance, media houses. We have challenges to do with our taxations in this country. You'll find that most of these taxations affect these media houses. So we want to look at some of these taxation laws that can be tailored towards improving the lives of our media houses.
We evaluate the press freedom. We want to reiterate our resolve to defend the media from all attacks, but also, as we pay tribute to those who have fallen on lines of duty, I want to request you, as the media, to act in solidarity. Act in solidarity when your rights are abused. We don't want to see just one media institution, one media company coming up in arms because their own has been abused, and then the others are working as if everything is normal. For you to achieve this, you must act in solidarity. If an institution has abused your rights, say we are banning its coverage. When it is all of you working together, you'll achieve it. But if you act in isolation, it is just one media, it is just one person, after all it is so and so was beaten, then you will not achieve what you want. You only achieve if you act in solidarity. The other point I wanted to talk about is that on this day, the government can only give us a gift of the tribunal we have always asked for. So this tribunal will help us to deal with the conflicts between the media and the media houses is set up in this country. Because without it, what we are talking about of some media being abused, some people being abused, some media being shut illegally, we will have nowhere to run to.
Always punish errant officers who violate journalists' rights and must do it in an open and transparent manner. Because I've already seen, usually whenever journalists are assaulted, police usually comes out and say they are punishing or they have suspended. But we are saying it's high time for security organs to start punishing these errant officers in an open and transparent manner. We're also saying government should encourage media owners to implement continuous career development trainings and refresher courses for media practitioners in order to professionalize the media industry. Whenever there's an opportunity, we are saying media owners should give an opportunity to the journalists such that they can have their career developed, because any journalist that has gone for a refresher training or has gone for upgrading in his education, of course, will be able to also give you a good and quality reporting.
As we assemble here, we thank you, honorable members of Parliament, for honorably articulating the current image of the pressman or the presswoman at the moment. Also equally, by extension, my colleague Sam Uganda Mugabe, for also articulating the resolves that we are taking for us to confirm our resolve to our colleagues. But as we collegiate today, we also remind ourselves, we also pronounce ourselves that what we give to the public is a social contract, the public good. The denial of the public good is a failure on all of us, including those that have the mandate of power. It is through our social contract, the public good, that the world and society is able to make a distinction on what the world is. It is through the dissemination of our public good in the context of the press freedoms that we are able to make informed decisions, including the arms of government and the public.